Hi everyone and welcome to French Watch Collector. Today on the bench we have a beautiful watch, a Seiko, you see a chronograph. Actually it's a special model, it's called the Bruce Lee. You will see inside it's a very nice caliber. But what I bought this watch for, you see the case, it's not in perfect condition, it's a bit rounded. You see all the edges are a bit rounded. Like it looks okay, but yeah, it was probably polished in the past. And what I want to do is I'm gonna use my lapping machine and all the other machine I have to do a restoration on his case, a proper polishing, and you will see that a bit later on this video. But first, what I want to do, I want to disassemble this watch because we'll see as well, there will be a lot of issue inside of this watch, and it's a great caliber actually, this Seiko caliber inside, and yeah, we will see a bit more about it. You see, we have even the original bracelet, which is very nice, and I will tell you about this Bruce Lee Seiko reference. You see there, we see the 6139 6012, which is, yeah, a very nice reference from Seiko. And you see, like I said, on the edge there, yeah, the polishing is not great. There is kind of a satin finish on top, like a graining, but normally it should not be like that, and all the angles should be correct. Just gonna check now if the watch is working correctly. We see we just the date turning there. We see we have it in English and another language. I don't know for the day. I'm not sure what it is, but yeah, there is a second language as well. And you see there, oh wow, look at the date. It's changing like even before 11 p.m. So yeah, that's way too early. So gonna adjust that. Gonna see as well. One of the issue on his watch is actually there is no, it's an automatic watch. There is an automatic winding, but there is no manual winding on his watch. And you see, we are just checking the chronograph now. Just you see, sped it up a bit there. We see the minute just moved, and I'm gonna see if the reset is working as well on his watch. Just a quick reset there, start and stop, and a reset. Wow, that was very slow, the reset, but yeah, we'll see if we can. It's probably losing some lubrication in it. Just gonna open the case back with my Orotech custom tool. I'll put a link down below in the description as well for my Orotech links. And as well, if you did not subscribe, just subscribe to the channel. Click the thumbs up if you like the video. Click on the bell icon as well. Like that, it will help to promote the watch love to other watch enthusiasts like myself on the internet. So yeah, just register. I try to put a video every 2 weeks. So yeah, if you subscribe and if you click on the bell icon and a thumbs up, that will be a very nice. Thank you so much in advance. Just gonna check. You see now, we just opened the case back. We see automatic. We have a, you see there the rotor from the automatic winding. Looks like it's working okay. There is not too much play on a rotor here, on a bearing. So that's already a good news. But you see the caliber inside. It's not great. Like, it looks like a bit of corrosion in it. Kind of white stuff all around the parts. Like, I don't know if it's like humidity that came in. And yes, there's a kind of a coating on top of the parts. And obviously what we're going to do, we're going to disassemble everything. Just gonna clean each single parts in a cleaning machine later on, and obviously after that it will work a lot better than what it is right now. Just gonna disassemble. You see this case, which is, yeah, a different type of design on his watches. You have a ring which is keeping, you see the pushers inside with the spring that we just removed. Just gonna remove the, you see the caliber, the dial, and everything which go inside there. Perfect. Just gonna protect the dial. Beautiful. I love this blue and dial. Wonderful dial. And I'm just gonna lift, you see the hand. Unfortunately, I think the chronograph hand is not original. So I will see a bit later. I did not manage to find a correct one, so I will see if I can find a new one, and I will change it a bit later on. But you see, I put all the hand in this little box there. And I'm just gonna do, you see the minute hand there from the chronograph here. Perfect. I love like the kind of sunburst effect on the dial, on this blue dye, which is very deep, a very deep blue there. I really like. That's why I I took this. I don't have actually a Seiko 6139 in my collection, so I will keep this one because yeah, I love this caliber. I will explain you as well. It's a very historical caliber, so yeah, we see a bit more about it. But this dial is beautiful. There is just, you see, a mark there close to the hour, close to the all in center. But yeah, it's a beautiful blue. Yeah, just gonna disassemble the rest you see on the dial side. We saw at the beginning the watch is a date, so which is yeah, nice complication because this watch is automatic, date, chronograph. Wow, that's a lot in a watch, yeah. From this era already, and I will take you more about being an automatic chronograph. That's a very important thing for this watch. But with the date, which I'm removing there, the disc here, and after obviously we have the date, so I'm just gonna disassemble all this plate, all this bridge on top, which is keeping all the parts. And you see as well on the Seiko, um, first the caliber are very simple in terms of finishing, very efficient. Let's say there is almost no finishing. I guess was probably straight from machining the parts. There is nothing more on the parts. There is no end finishing or anything on the parts. So it's very simple. And you see now I just removed the day disc there, and we can see some plastic part as well on these calibers. Obviously, Seiko it was a cheaper brand. Even today, it's still an expensive. Some of the watch, the price went up, but before it was an affordable brand. Let's say it was nothing compared to the Swiss, to obviously the Zenith, the Rolex, the Omega at the time. It was much cheaper, so that's why you don't have anything like you don't have any finishing on the parts. You have plastics as well to reduce the cost on some of the parts. Yeah, it's true. The calibers are not that beautiful compared to the Swiss watches, but wow, they are efficient. Efficient in cost, efficient as well in quality, and efficient as well in the amount of complication that you can have on this caliber, probably for a fraction of the cost that you will have on a Swiss caliber. So yeah, that's very well done from Seiko at the time. Yeah. Just disassemble, you see, it just slipped out of my holder, and look at was the result on a time grapher, the amplitude way too high for a Seiko. Normally a Seiko, this type of caliber is just around over 200, 250 is way too much. And look, the rate is losing 258 seconds. The bit error is too high as well. Wow, that's not good at all. So we're gonna disassemble everything, the rest, starting by the automatic winding. Again, everything in his watch at the time obviously was very clever, and still today, because some of the stuff is still used today. Even the automatic winding, look at it, very simple, just two parts, like basically. Was called the magic lever from Seiko. You see this lever there with kind of two arms and a wheel. And this is automatic winding to have reverse, like it doesn't matter in which way the rotor is going to turn, like the information is going to send it to the barrel in the same direction, because obviously you can wind the mainspring only in one direction. And this magic lever from Seiko, that's what it's doing. And yeah, again, very, very clever. Obviously still used today by Seiko, and I guess by other brands as well. But yeah, this was invented a long time ago. This watch is from the 70s. So yeah, that's to say, like Seiko, even if they are far away from Switzerland, obviously they did their stuff on their own, and they created different way to have a watch working. For example, for the automatic, the chronograph we see as well is way different at the time compared to other chronograph. So just well done, Seiko. To be fair, well done, like at what you did and what you created on his watches. Crazy. Just remove the balance. You see there with a bridge as well. Just checking the hairspring if everything is okay there. And it looks like good. It looks like it's good, so perfect. Just gonna remove now the pallet fork with this bridge on top. Pretty big screws as well on these calibers, so let's say easier to be tighten or untighten. So yeah, that's pretty nice. And now I'm just gonna remove, you see this bridge here, and underneath you will have all the parts from the chronograph, obviously. But this chronograph is very special. I will talk about it about later, being an automatic chronograph, but this is a column wheel chronograph, vertical clutch as well, which is at the time was pretty good, yeah. Obviously today, vertical clutch. Personally, I prefer the lateral clutch because I found them more beautiful. But in terms of accuracy, let's say start and stop, obviously the vertical is better, for sure. But if you see, for example, this watch, you don't have a see-through case back, so there is no point being a lateral or vertical clutch, doesn't matter. But if you see the caliber through the case back, I found that horizontal is less nice than a vertical. That's my thought. I don't know what you think about it, and put it down in a comment if you think you prefer to see a vertical clutch compared to a lateral. But yeah, vertical clutch, you will see you will see the wheel. This is a column wheel as well. So let's say you can have a cam as well, chronograph, but column wheel is being, let's say, better in terms of quality, in terms of sensation when you pull on a pusher, when you push on a pusher there. So let's say quite a high end when you look at let's say the numbers, and let's say the complication and the characteristics of the calibers is, yeah, it's very nice, very complete, let's say, in terms of features that you have on this chronograph. Okay, so now I'm just removing the bridge, the next bridge here, where we have obviously the barrel and a lot of wheel there from the train of wheel. And on this caliber, everything is integrated in one. You will see like the chronograph, for example, the center wheel there with the vertical clutch. You see there, just to do a break, like there is a bit of handshake there on the barrel, so we're gonna adjust that as well, which is the weak point from this for these calibers. There is let's say the wear around the barrel arbor, so we're gonna adjust this. And like I said, like this chronograph is like the train of wheel, the chronograph is all integrated in one, let's say on the same level. So you cannot have the caliber giving the time working without the chronograph, which is, for example, very different. If you say, for example, Zenith El Primero or Venus or Landron or whatever, Valjoux at the time, it was like you have the base caliber where it gives the time, and on top of it you had the chronograph mechanism. But there, like everything is integrated in one on this caliber, which is again very clever. It was probably as well at the time to reduce the height of the watch, being a chronograph automatic, so the automatic winding had some height as well. So yeah, it's just to make sure the watch was not too thick here. Okay, I just removed there the center wheel. So from this side we are done. Just gonna move on the dial side. I'm gonna disassemble everything there, the keyless work around the winding stem. Again, a bit more different on this watch. You will see a couple of parts which are different, and as well, what's very clever, you will see as well, it's a quick set day and a quick set date, which is very different on this caliber, which I found very nice on this watch. You will see on the crown we have a nice feature to do a quick side day and quick side date. Setting lever spring there, and look at the yoke. The yoke and the spring are all integrated in one. We still have some rust there. We're gonna remove this rust as well. And yeah, look, everything in one part. That's nice. That's clever as well. And just removes the last couple of parts there. Just removing, you see there, the winding stem. Just gonna remove as well the jewel you see there from the balance assembly, which is a different kind of shock setting you see there, which is one from Seiko, which is not the easiest to remove, but it's okay actually. Just gonna disassemble as well. You see the barrel. Just gonna open it there. I'm just gonna have access, you see there, on the mainspring inside the barrel. I'm just gonna change as well. I'm gonna put a brand new mainspring because, like I said, this watch I'm gonna keep it in my collection. So like that, I know I will start again from scratch, you know, with the mainspring inside. And you see this one is very, very dirty. Actually, on this Seiko, like there is a lot of grease inside, automatic grease. We put a new one after when we reassemble the watch, and with the new mainspring inside. But yeah, this mainspring there is very dirty. Okay, just gonna remove. You see, I'm just gonna do a pre-cleaning on the parts. That's what I do every time. You see, with a peg wood there, I'm just gonna peg. You see there, all the ball remove like this very thick grease there, which is a bit dried up. So like that, it will be easier after when I put it inside the cleaning machine. As well, I'm just gonna do a first cleaning by hand. Same thing again, just to remove any dust, dirt, which is like the big amount, let's say, the first stage of cleaning. And after, obviously, when we put it through the cleaning machine, it will do finish to clean it perfectly. But at least all the biggest amount of dirt is gone during the manual cleaning. So that's why I do it manually first. Just gonna, you see, clean the parts, dry the part there with my automatic, or you see pen with we have a compressor with air there. It's very easy to clean the parts. And as well, I'm just gonna do a quick polish there on the pivot point of the barrel. Like I said, in a watch, you want to reduce the friction to a minimum. So that's why even if you have like in all the parts which are metal against metal, you want them to be as smooth as possible. So that's why I'm just gonna polish them. You see there, which is a tool which is called, like the hand there of my rotary tool there is called E-Flex. Just gonna do this polishing, and obviously after that, all the parts will go inside this first small basket you see there, where we have the smaller parts. You see, for example, the jewels of the balance assembly. And after, we'll go through the other baskets and we put all the parts. Keep them in family. That's very important to keep them by groups, so like that it will be easier as well when you reassemble the watch. Because a lot of people are asking me, how do you do to reassemble and to find which parts go where, which screws, stuff like that. You see there, you will have different pockets if you want, like in these baskets, and you keep them in family. For example, the keyless work, the train of wheel, the chronograph parts, you keep them in family. So like that, it will be very easy to reassemble the part. It will be easier, let's say. And after that, we can clean the parts. Just to tell you as well, I will put a link down below in the description that I have a Patreon page. So if you want to go to my Patreon, you will subscribe, and it will help a lot my channel. And I would like to thank my existing patrons which are supporting me and supporting my channel. Thank you so much, guys, for supporting me. It takes a lot of time and effort to put these videos for you guys out there. So if you want to go to my Patreon, you can go there. You can subscribe to one of the plan. You will get the video free of commercial as well. And you will get as well stickers. After a couple of months, you will get a stickers with my logo on it. So thanks in advance if you want to subscribe to my Patreon. And like I said at the beginning as well, if you didn't subscribe to my channel, will help as well to grow my channel. So thank you so much, guys. If you want to subscribe to my channel, click on the thumbs up as well if you like the video. Now what I will do, I will focus on the case. We're going to disassemble the case because we need to polish it. So first we're going to disassemble. And just to tell you as well that I'm working with a French partner to work with the tools, which is Maison Venus. I will put a link down below as well in the description. You will have all the tools, for example, this Orotech tool there, which I'm using to disassemble the bezel. You can go there to Maison Venus and they are great people and they will take care of you very well if you want to buy some consumable or some tool there on the website. It's there will be wonderful people to work for you. So now I'm just gonna remove the bezel. You see there. Just gonna remove. It's a different type of construction, let's say, for the case as well. Different kind of build. You see, you will have a crystal there. You will have inside. You will have another seals. You see there for the gasket. Another gasket. You see there for the crystal. And inside you will have a ring. You see there, inner, let's say, bezel with the tachymeter parts. And now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go on the lapping machine and gonna polish, you see, the parts, and I'm gonna redo the angle. This is my old polishing machine, my old lapping machine. I have a new one which is coming in September, which I'm really looking forward for you guys to see the kind of result I will get with this new lapping machine. But you see there, I'm just doing the sides, and I'm just gonna do as well all the different angles and the different type of finish as well that there is on this case, because there is kind of a straight graining finish, there is polishing polish as well on a bezel there, on the angles. So yeah, I'm just gonna redo all of that on this table, and this is a very nice polishing to do because it will keep all the angles perfect, because you see this watch at the beginning was rounded. So basically they did it under a polishing wheel, which is a traditional, let's say, way of doing polishing, the easiest way, let's say, to do polishing. If you want to do it properly and have a case which looks like it just came out of the factory, is to do it with a lapping machine. You know as well that I have a welding machine as well to add some metal if required. This case was in good condition actually. It was no scratches, no deep scratches, no bang, no digs on the case. So I'm just did not need to use my welding machine, but just to put it on a lapping machine, and you will see I will do both sides, all the angles. Obviously, you need to use different papers, different grit on a paper. There is just to have the straight graining, so it's one kind of paper. But after you will see, when we'll go to, like, for example, the bezel, which will be a polish parts. We'll use different type of grit there, just to make sure. We'll start with a lower grit, which is aggressive paper to remove all the scratches, and we'll go up in a grit from smaller and smaller grain if you want, and after we'll obviously finish it by hand. But at least when we go on a lapping machine, the polishing already will be very, very good. So now we just did, you see, a part of the case. Obviously still a couple of touches to do on the case, and now we're gonna move after that on the bezel. And for the bezel you need a different type of tool, which is called a trolley there, a lapping trolley. And you see this part here, because it's on a case back. You need to do the same thing as well on a bezel, and which is rotating parts, and so that's why you need a trolley, you see, to rotate the parts, just to make sure you don't do any flat spot on the part there. And again, there is an angle on the case back, so that's why you see you hold the trolley at the same angle all the time to have a perfect edges on the parts. And what I do every time, you will stop, when you're happy with the result, and you will change the grit. You will go from lower grits every time, just to make it smoother and smoother every time. And obviously at the end you will have a perfect result if you want to have a polished result. And we will do it after in my polishing machine with my polishing wheel there. But you see, it's quite a long process to do a polishing. But again, the result will be perfect on this machine, much better than just a polishing by hand. And you see there, I'm just doing the flat bit there of the case back, doing the same technique here. Perfect. And again, like you do every time, if you want to do a polish result, you need to remove the paper, change it again, and you will go like, maybe you will start at 600 and you will go to 1,200, 2,000, 4,000, 2,400, sorry. And like that, it's like it will become like the scratches will become smaller and smaller and smaller until it's perfectly polished. And obviously, the last thing that you want to do on this part after is to do it on a polishing machine, just to make sure it's perfectly shiny again. So that's what we're gonna do next. You see, now I just did the last step here on my lapping machine. And after, you see there, you go under the polishing wheel, and you will just do, you see again, you will use a rotating tool there just to make sure you don't do any flat spots on the part. You will do it by rotating, and you will get a perfect polishing on the part there. You see center, the side, and you will see the result at the end that I can get on this case. To be fair, is very, very nice. So I was very, very happy with the result. Okay, so now we're gonna reassemble the caliber. And that's what I told you during the mainspring. You will see like there is this old grease, very dry. And actually, being an automatic, you see you need to put this black grease on the side there. You see on the wall of the barrel. That's what I'm doing right now. Being an automatic, you need to put that. And obviously after, you need to put, like I said, I've just changed and put a brand new mainspring inside. Just press it in position. Perfect. There. Brand new mainspring is in. Just gonna reassemble now the rest of the barrel with the barrel arbor, which always tricky on his watch to put back. You see here. Just need to find the correct spot there. Just need to align, you see, the spring. And there we go. Now it's in position there. Perfect. Just gonna close, you see there, the barrel. Don't need to put any oil because it's a brand new mainspring. So the mainspring come already lubricated from the factory. So you don't need to put any grease there on the mainspring. And when it's done, just gonna check. Just gonna oil up as well. You see there the barrel assembly, the pivot point here. Just gonna do an epilem treatment. You see on a couple of parts, the jewels from the balance assembly, the pallet fork there, and the escape wheel. Just gonna do, you see, a treatment. Perfect. Perfectly in position. And now just gonna take the parts after the polishing. Just gonna dry them, obviously. I'm just gonna remove as well the epilem from the pivot point. I do every time there with a piece of wood there, just to remove the epilem on the pivot point of the escape and pallet fork. And I'm just gonna oil. You see the jewel there. I'm just gonna use my automatic oiler, not my automatic winding, my automatic oiler there, just to make sure I put a drop of oil on the jewel. Just gonna do the same thing as well on the other one. it's very easy with the automatic oiler there, just to put a drop of oil right in the center here. Perfect. And after that, we're gonna put it, you see, on the balance assembly, just putting the shock setting, the spring back on top, you see there. Just gonna align, you see this kind of star shape. Spring need to align, you see each spot there of the wheel if you want. One by one, you have a window there, just need to press it. That need to go underneath in a groove. There we go. I need to do that one by one, you see, turning in the same direction. Slowly there, the last one in position. Just need to align it, and now I can turn it. There we go, perfect. Now everything is under the groove there. Just need to do the same thing on the other side. Just putting the jewel there with the drop of oil. And again, we need to realign this spring, which is obviously not the easiest way of doing it, but it's okay. Actually, there is shock setting which I prefer against each other. This one, let's say, is a medium difficulty. It's not the worst. It's not the best, but it's not bad actually on his shock setting there. Perfect. Now it's in position. So the balance is done. Just gonna check if everything is spinning freely. There is no friction. If the air spring is perfectly flat. If nothing needs to be adjusted on his balance assembly. And he looks pretty good there. Perfect. So now I'm just gonna disassemble that. And you remember it was a lot of handshake, a lot of play there around the ball. So what I'm doing right now, I'm just closing the hole ever so slightly. You see there on the bridge. Just gonna do the same thing as well on the main plate. Just gonna close the hole, and after with a smoothing brush, we're gonna, you see there, just hammering it tiny bit by tiny bit there. And with a smoothing brush, we're gonna reopen the hole very slowly until we have the perfect dimension to the barrel arbor, and like that there is no side shake, and there is no end shake on a barrel of this caliber. I just need to do the same thing as well. You see there on the main plate with the smoothing brush. Yeah, perfect. Now just gonna put back together. Yeah, see if it goes in position. Yeah, that look at the movement. Like there is no more movement on the barrel arbor. The side shake is gone. But you will see something which I did not like on his caliber as well. There is the end shake which is vertical. You see there. When I put on it, I found that there is too much play. You need a tiny bit of play, but not too much, because if you have no play, it means like you have the parts which are under constraint, which are under tension, so you will create some friction that you don't want. You want the parts to be free, but not too much, because if there is too much movement, the parts will touch to each other, and that again, that will create some friction. So you need to have the perfect spot, to have on an handshake. And there I'm just gonna use my tool. You see there, you have a bush, so on this bridge there, and I'm just gonna use this tool just to lower it down like a tiny bit. So you have a thread on this tool, which is, I think you will have some graduation, which is 0.02 millimeter per graduation. So you can adjust the depth very, very, very slowly and very accurately. And that's what I'm doing right now. I just went like maybe a couple of graduation to put it down, and the result was much better. So now can carry on the reassembly of the caliber. And starting on this caliber, we need to start on the winding there on a keyless work, you see. So you will see me using a lot of grease on these parts, you see there, because it's a lot of parts that we see a lot of tension. So I'm just gonna reassemble that. Put the setting lever here in position. Perfect. And you see we're gonna grease all the parts metal against metal. That will create some tension, especially when we're gonna add, you see this spring there, which is the yoke with integrated with the spring in one part. There we go, perfect. Now we send the tension on this side. Just gonna put the setting lever spring on top. Keep it in position, you see there with 2 screws. Perfect, now it's in position. Oh, the screw there was not engaged properly. You always need to be careful when you go, just need to feel the resistance if you have under there. Just checking if everything is working. Yeah, it looks like everything is working, but you will see we'll have some more part later on to give some tension under this mechanism, especially for the quick side date. We have an intermediate wheel there before we put the minute wheel now. And again, we have a bridge on top that will cover these wheels. And now we're gonna secure it with these 2 screws, which are not the same on both sides. So you will always need to be careful when you reassemble the caliber. These 2 screws are not the same. One is flat, one is with a chamfer on it. So yeah, you always need to be careful on this part of the caliber there. Okay, just gonna carry on the balance side. Just gonna put the center wheel, but first gonna put a drop of oil there on a pivot point that will go through the jewels you see there in the center. Just gonna put as well a drop of oil there here where we have the jewels from the top part of this wheel. Secure it with 1 screw here. And then we can carry on with the rest. We obviously already reassembled the barrel assembly, so that's what we're gonna do now. We're just gonna put the barrel assembly in position. If I put it correctly, I find the hole there. There we go. See if everything is rotating. Just gonna put the wheels from the train-off wheel, starting by the escape wheel. You remember we just did an epilent treatment on the escape wheel there. Just gonna put the other one, and obviously in the center there you'll have this wheel, which I'm doing just adding some oil there. There is a spot there on this wheel that you need to be oiled perfectly under there for the clutch to work correctly. And you will have this wheel with the vertical clutch mechanism as well, part of the mechanical vertical clutch there. We're gonna put the bridge here, which obviously gonna correct, you see the barrel and a couple of wheels from the train-off wheel there. So we need to align everything perfectly. Just gonna vibrate, you see, for the parts to fall in position. Because yeah, again, you just want to make sure everything is aligned, just checking, because you don't want to bend a pivot point when you put it back together. So very slowly at this point until everything turn freely. You see there all the parts turning, and now you can secure with the screw and put some tension on the bridge and keep all the parts in position. So I'm putting that right now. Just gonna oil, you see there, the pivot point as well from the barrel arbor with the bridge before I put the last part here on top of it. The ratchet wheel. Yes, perfectly. Just gonna secure it with the screw. and we can reassemble now the rest of the parts from the chronograph, starting by the brain being the column wheel here. So just gonna oil, you see, and grease all the parts. See me putting some tension there on this spring. Perfect, it's in position. Gonna secure it, you see, with the screw. Perfect. Just gonna grease, you see, like all the different parts, because we're gonna have a lot of spring that go around the column wheel, because obviously, like I said, this is a brain. So you have only one movement, human movement, which is the movement on the pushers, but obviously this, we need to have a lot of parts moving together to start, stop, and reset. So that's why you will have a lot of spring inside the chronograph for all the other parts to move. With one movement from your finger, you will have, like, obviously a lot of parts need to move, and the column wheel is doing that. It's giving the information to different parts to move and make the spring move depending on the pushers that you push and the moment when you push it. So yes, very clever. This is a vertical clutch. You see these two parts which are put together that will come together just underneath, and to start vertically to engage or disengage the chronograph hand there, which is again a very clever mechanism. And on Seiko, you will have, like, again, like I was talking about, this spring from the chronograph. You see, that will give the tension from the pusher to the different parts. So yeah, you need to be very careful when you use this spring to keep them in position, because they are very strong. They can fly very far, and you will spend a lot of time looking for them. So yeah, you need to be very, very careful when you put them in position. This is a hammer, which I'm oiling right now, which is a parts that will give the zero when you reset, basically, the chronograph. This is a minute wheel from the chronograph, which I'm oiling there before I put it in position. Perfect. We have another spring. You see, like, this shape of spring. You need to go one side, please the other. Wow. They're always complicated to put back together, but again, you need to go very slowly. Be very careful when you put them. You see one there and the other side. We go there where it's linked to the pusher. Perfect. We have an intermediate wheel there, and obviously after that we'll have the bridge to put all the parts and realign all the parts on this beautiful chronograph caliber. And just to tell you about this caliber, the 6139, like, this watch is from the 70s. This caliber came early, like 70, like the year 70, or even tiny bit earlier, maybe 79. It was a war between Seiko, Zenith, and other brand, like, for example, Tag at the time, more earlier at the time, and Breitling, that were working together to do, like, they were fighting to do the first chronograph automatic. And Seiko being one, actually, with this caliber, the 6139, which is the first automatic chronograph from Seiko. So it was a big war. Obviously, like, they came out, like, all of them came out a couple of months, even maybe a couple of weeks to each other. The first that came out to the public, I think that was the Zenith El Primero. But the first that came to the public was the Seiko. So yeah, actually this one is the first chronograph automatics that came to the public, that somebody could purchase the watch being an automatic chronograph. So yeah, this is a very, very, very important caliber from the history in a watch industry. And again, that's why you see, like the caliber is very. And actually, if you work on a 3 caliber, which is the Seiko, the Zenith, or the Heuer Breitling, the caliber 11, for example, from Heuer, all the 3 calibers are very different. Like the Zenith El Primero obviously it's my favorite one, let's say, because it's still used today. Obviously, the Seiko is not used today because obviously we saw like it was a couple of issues. For example, with the ball, it's not manual. You cannot wind manually. This automatic chronograph. And the tag, obviously, the higher chronograph, the caliber 11, let's say they still use it, but he evolved quite a lot. He was 12, 13, 14, 15. Even don't know if they carry on now with other ones, but yeah, it's very different calibers. Obviously, the one which is the more uh, famous still today is a Zenith El Primero, because already from Zenith, it was used as well in a lot of other watches. The Rolex Daytona, the first Rolex Daytona automatic was a Zenith El Primero inside. And in other brand, like for example, if the Movado, the Ebel, even some like a lot of other parts, a lot of other brand use the Zenith El Primero as a chronograph, automatic chronograph, which is a very, 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 very nice chronograph, automatic. But like I said, the first one that came out to the public is this one. So it's a very, very important one. That's why I want to keep this caliber in my collection. I just want to have at least one 6139 caliber in my collection. Loving the chronograph. Yeah, I love chronograph complication, and this one is one that you need to have in your collection because it's a very historic chronograph caliber inside. So yeah, that's why I want to have one as well. So you see now, we just put the balance assembly. Everything is turning again. Just gonna put the screws you see there. Just putting to secure the ball there, the bridge of the balance assembly. Perfect. And now we have a running caliber. We can carry on with the rest of the mechanism, which is a day to reassemble. And at the beginning, I told you as well, this is a Seiko called, the surname of this watch is a Bruce Lee. And actually, this watch is called the Bruce Lee because this watch was wear during a famous photo for a famous photo. So that's why like the nickname is a Bruce Lee. Obviously, the first one was with the black dial, but this one is a blue dial version, but it's the same reference, which is a 6139 6012 as well for the Bruce Lee. Yeah, so that's why the nickname from the Seiko fan and it's called the Bruce Lee. But yeah, it is a fantastic watch. So yeah, you see now I'm just reassembling the calendar mechanism, and you see this plastic there parts, which are very famous from Seiko. And actually, these parts, I don't clean them in a washing machine. I just clean them by hand, which is because the plastic, you don't want to put like the chemical product that you use during cleaning can damage the plastic parts. So that's why you do it by hand. You don't want to put them in any kind of chemical product there, just to make sure it doesn't get damaged, this plastic part there. I'm just reassembling the rest you see there of the calendar, and you have the day and date on this watch, but something very nice on this watch you will see is a quick say date, which I found very clever. Normally on Swiss watches you have like let's say intermediate or sometimes the last position when you pull the crown, and you will turn and you can do a quick set date, for example. But on this caliber, what's different is actually you push, you don't pull, you push on the crown. And if you do a quick push, like you don't go too far, you just change the date, the date. And if you do a further, like if you push it a bit longer, like further away, you will change the date and the day. So yeah, this is a very clever mechanism to do a quick say date. To be fair, I really like this quick say. It's very easy to change. Just basically, it's like a click, like with your crown. By pushing it, I like it a lot because sometimes with the Swiss, when you pull the intermediate position, you need to feel, is it the intermediate position? Is it the time changing position? And you're always afraid when you turn it, is it the correct time, is the correct zone, because you don't want to change it like between 10 and 6 o'clock the morning. But there, yes, there is no issue. And you see, when you pull on it, you will see when you push on it, like you don't pull, you push on his watch. You see how the mechanism is working to do this quick say date. It's very, very clever. And you will see now, I will just put the disc for the day here in position. And you will see again, you will have this quick set day changing very quickly and very easily to be changed by pushing it. Like I said, just need to go a bit further if you just want to do the date and the day. If you just want to do the day, the date, you just need to put, like you see, the first push. And if you go further, you see you do both at the same time, which is very clever. And it's working perfectly now. Okay, so that's done. I'm just gonna put, you see there, the dial back in position. Is beautiful dial, this blue dial, which I'm securing, you see there, with the dial fit screw. Just do a quick clean, you see on the dial there. Because yeah, it's so beautiful, yeah. Perfect. Now the dial is done. The only stuff we have to do now is to put the hand back on the dial. This beautiful hand. First we're gonna put the hour hand, and obviously we have a date and day there, so we need to align it perfectly with the jump at midnight. That's what we're gonna do. Just gonna put you see the hour hand first. I'm just gonna turn it just to see where is a jump. Very slowly there. Obviously you need to do 2 turns, you need to do 24-hour on the dial there, and the jump is there. Perfect. So that's midnight. Just gonna realign it there. Just gonna press it there with my Orotech tool. If you have any question as well on the tool, don't hesitate to put it down in a comment. If you have anything like on this watch, any question, any stuff that you want to say, don't hesitate to put it in a comment. I would be very happy to reply to your question or your words that you put it down in the comment. Just put the minute hand now in position. Perfect. You see now it's in position. We just gonna check if you remember it was jumping. Oh yeah, that was a bit too fast there, but I'm just gonna redo it. You remember the change was at 11 o'clock, and you see now, see if it's okay. Yeah, perfect. Now it's okay, just like 1 minute before midnight, so that's perfect. Just gonna realign the chronograph end there. Gonna realign perfectly on a 0. Just gonna do the same thing as well on the minute end. Perfect. And just gonna, again, just gonna press the end in position, and now it's done. We're gonna reassemble this beautiful case that we just polished, remember, with the lapping machine. Just gonna reassemble it. There is quite a lot of parts actually on this case. Obviously, and just put the caliber first because I need to realign this tachymetric scale. You see there's this ring around, this blue ring. There is a space to put it, so I'm just gonna put the cover just to protect the caliber from the underside. Just gonna put as well, you see, the ring, and I'm gonna put the pusher in position. That's the way you need to, and you need to push a pusher and pull the ring, and the ring will keep the pusher in position inside the case there. That's what I'm doing right now. It's not easy on his Seiko. Yeah, perfect. And now I can put, you see, the scale. There is a little part I need to be aligned on the dial until there I found the position perfectly. there is a ring that will come and cover this inner bezel, and I will put the gasket in position, put the crystal again, just gonna blow first all the dust that can be, just to make sure it's perfectly clean again. Just gonna put a crystal in position. And again, I'm just gonna put the bezel, and then I'm gonna press it with my tool there just to make sure the crystal stay in position. Just gonna reassemble the last complication on the caliber, which is automatic winding. And you remember, this was a very clever automatic winding, you see, with this magic lever that I'm gonna put together after that. Just have this wheel, which is connected between the magic lever and the ball, I mean, to wind the mainspring inside the ball. And you see, I'm just oiling all the jewels there. And I'm just putting back this bridge back on top with, you see, the bearing from the automatic rotor, which actually was like not a lot of play on his bearing, which is very nice. And when it's in position, we'll secure with the screw there. There is 2 screws. And we'll be ready to put the rotor back in position. Perfect. Just need to align, you see there, on his rectangle shape there and keep it in position with the screw. And we have the caliber, basically, which is done now. So we're gonna put back the bracelet, and I have a new tool there, you see, to demagnetize the watches, which is from Orotech, which is very nice because actually, you see, on this tool there, what you can do is you can measure there the magnetic field of your watch, see if you need to if it's magnetized or demagnetized, which is you don't have on other tools, which is very nice to have that. You see, for example, there we see the value, which is pretty low. But what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna put it on the next zone, you see, on the right side, and I'm just gonna demagnetize the watch. I'm just gonna let do this thing for a couple of seconds, and after that we'll be able to measure and go back to the detect zone and see if and you see there the number are a bit lower. I will try to do it again just to make sure it's even lower, like for example, you can change it or do it the other way around just to make sure, because the bracelet as well can be magnetized, and we put it inside the zone a bit later on to check if the result is much better. So that's what I like about this tool, is actually the strength of the magnetic field that you have in your watch, if it's just a tiny bit, which is okay, which doesn't mean it's magnetized, or if it's a lot. And you can do the same with your tools as well. You can put, for example, your tweezers, your screwdriver, for example, and see if the result is correct. Just to tell you as well that I have my own website. I will put a link on the top right corner. I will put a link as well in the description for my website. You can go there. You can see some of the watches which are for sale that I restore on my channel. And as well, if you want, you can contact me. And if you want to send me your watch and I will do a service, a restoration on your watch, don't hesitate to contact me on my website, and I will be very happy to work on your watch if you want. So yeah, the site is in a comment down below. And this is the result. You see the angle, you see the polishing there, the chamfer, and you see as well the strain graining as well on the case. Much better than what it was with all the rounded edges there. You see the case back as well is like mirror, like you can see as well. You still have from the skin, you have like part of it on top of the polish. And look at the polishing as well on his watch, which is much better than it was with all these rounded edges, and with this beautiful dial, blue die, and as well with the original bracelet, which I keep original just to give it some strength of it. I really like this watch. That will be one for my collection. I hope you like this restoration on the Seiko, and I see you next time for the next watch. Bye bye.